Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to beautiful, sunny Verde Beach. The local time is 1 p.m. and the temperature is a beautiful 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. We've enjoyed having you today and hope that you've enjoyed your flight from Fairchild. Unfortunately, we've received word from air traffic control that there might be a slight 3-hour delay in taxiing. Thankfully, you should be able to see palm trees out your window, and we all know how much Midwesterners love palm trees. It makes it feel like a vacation. Please remember that, due to federal rules, you must keep your seatbelt latched and remain seated until we have finished taxiing. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. Again, welcome to Verde Beach, and we hope that you've enjoyed your time flying Verde Air.
So today, I'm going to teach you how to resolve situations like this, where you get frustrating airplane backups. We're going to do this by thoughtfully redesigning the airport so that it makes sense within the context of the airport's DLC. And if you like designing airports, please hit the like button. And if you don't, hit the like button for that too, and let me know in the comments. And if you have nothing to say, why not just drop an airplane emoji? And let's jump right in. Hello, welcome back to City Planner Plays, where we are building the city of Verde Beach. And we've got some problems at the airport. You might see that we've got, I don't know, half dozen airplanes all stuck right here. Over here, we've got the same situation going on. And the only way to fix this is to really rethink our airport, which is, it's painful. This airport is, it's actually designed after Hong Kong's airport, and though it works in real life, it does not work with the game's mechanics. So today we are going to redesign the airport, get things functioning appropriately, and hopefully fix some of our taxiway issues too. We have some wings clipping. That was a criticism that I received in the global build-off actually, and I aim to fix it now. So let's get started, and the very first thing we need to do to fix our frame rates is to actually delete some of these taxiways. Holy cow, look at this. Well, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in the game. I'm gonna speed it up because I want to see where these airplanes go. Oh, now we're getting a better idea of what's, I don't get this. Oh, now we're going in reverse. Now we're going quickly in reverse. We're turning around. And I guess they're going to fly away. They're all going to fly away at once. Okay, well, I don't know what this is. Whoa! Holy cow. This is one of the strangest things that I have ever seen in Cities Skylines. But we're going to resolve it. There have got to be 500 planes up here. This is a beautiful choreography though. Really, really interesting stuff. They're all leaving at once. I am curious. We're going to pause this for 1 second. It seems like most of them are just empty planes that are just flying in circles. Interesting. Yeah, a bunch of empty flights. That is bizarre. We're going to start with our cargo because these are too close right off the bat. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Jeez. They're all coming in at once. Where are they even going to go? They're all going to disappear right here. Wow. Well. I don't even know what to say about this besides clearly the airport is bugged right now and we've got to do something about it. All right. I'm going to get rid of all of these taxiways. I'm going to try to retain as much of the existing airport as I can, but I'm going to be completely honest with you and say that a lot of this needs to go, which is painful. We spent a lot of time on this. Anyway, we'll get rid of this and then we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so we are now ready to get going here. And the first thing we need to do is extend this road back. I'm going to get rid of this. And truthfully, I think that everything has to shift back probably 5 units. Actually, maybe we can salvage some of it by just getting rid of these taxi stands back here. Okay, now before we just eliminate these, I think what we'll try to do, so this all comes down to the length, the distance in between these two taxiways. I think we need to dramatically increase it. We've lost power back here. That's okay. We'll fix that in a bit. I'm gonna get rid of this. We need our large airport, cargo airport road. I'm going to pull this back probably another 4 units, and then we'll go all the way down. And I think we should be able to line this up with where we were at previously. Let's see. 2,520. Now, the only thing that I'm thinking about right now that could complicate this is I think we were too wide before. So that could be another concern. We might just want to chop one whole bay off over here. For the time being, let's just get some of these moved. So we are going to chop off one of these. So the airport generally will be smaller. And then we need to make sure that these all still are directly across from one another. And you can see that things are just a little bit different now. And maybe it doesn't even really matter because, well, this one matters, but that's about the only one. The reason I say that is I want those ones to be fairly even. So this taxiway is directly straight. The rest of them probably not a huge concern though. But I'll do my best. I can slide this around and there we go. So now we will connect up our taxiways here and we're just going to have a loop. So you can see that this is far enough apart that two planes could pass and their wings shouldn't clip. We'll do the same thing over here. Okay, so this should be mostly okay here. We've got to clean this up and then talk a little bit about our other circulation patterns through here. So we've got the two halves of this airport connected, and that's an unforced error in my opinion. There's no need to have that circulation going between the two runways. I think it just complicates things. So that's one of the things that we're going to get rid of. I think from a visual standpoint, it looks really nice, but it doesn't actually help us. And then if you look at this, we've got additional taxiway for some reason. I don't really understand what I was thinking here. We're going to get rid of that. We might add something back here, just a loop, but it won't actually be used for anything. So I want to sever all of the functional taxiway from the non-functional taxiway. Okay, so you can see that it's pretty clear all the way through here that we've just got more space. This will allow us to have taxiways where the wings don't clip. We'll have to do the same thing over here. What is this? We've actually got some vegetation on the runway. Okay, so this has been a trick, and we're going to need to make sure that these are the same length on either side, and I'm wondering if we can straighten these up a little bit now. That has always been one of my pet peeves about this airport, is that these just aren't straight. I'm going to try it with this one, and if it doesn't work, we'll give it another shot. Okay, this was not easy. It was a lot of playing around, and I don't even know that it's perfect right now. It's pretty good. So I think we're going to go with it. Basically, I used the road guidelines for this road back here to line everything up, and then it was a lot of putzing around to make this actually work. Now, one thing I did experiment with, and you might have noticed, is I had a little bit of this concourse jetting out, and that's another way to handle this. The only problem there is it would have potentially blocked some of our aircraft stands, and that is a big problem. So I think we're gonna do it though. It felt so much straighter. Okay, this is better. I'm concerned that this is too close. We're going to have to keep an eye on this. We might need to scoot these over just a little bit. And actually, I'm just going to do it. So we'll just line up the edge of the pad with this. I should be able to reproduce that. That's the main thing when you're playing vanilla, is finding that thing that you can reproduce. And once you find that, you're in a great spot. So again, we've taken the number of stands down here, but it's going to function better, which means we should get more flights generally. There we go. Yeah, this looks like it's going to function well. You can just see it's all very symmetrical. It's even. Just looks good. Just looks really good. Now, this part's going to be a little more challenging because I have to basically eliminate everything to move this. But you can see how crooked it is in comparison. So, as painful as this is, again, we're going to delete it. These are a bunch of large stands right here. These were medium. So we'll just have to remember, replace these with, oh, there's a large and a medium. And then these the parked planes we can do whatever we want with. We'll just move those out of the way. Okay, so I think ideally I would have taken this and just pulled it over here. Unfortunately, ideally went out the window. So now we're just going to need to use our guidelines to figure it out. So I'm going to pull this up here. I think we'll go to about here and see if that's enough. We'll pull this out of the way for the time being, and then we'll run this straight back. Now this should be perfectly straight. The only problem is I lost my road guideline over here. There we go. That is looking good. First of all, we need to find our center again. So this is where our modern concourse hub will jet out from. And I'm wondering if we shouldn't just, we can't make a connection through. I wish that we could. It'd be great if we could just have some sort of connection here. We could have a strange diagonal connection if that was something that interested us, but it's not really. I'd love to just have this come straight through. Okay, so use guidelines to find the center. The center's actually on the other side, but we're not going to be able to find it. And again, this is airport stuff, so it is a bit more challenging to work with. So we've got to recreate nodes exactly where we want them to be. We've got to be willing to experiment a bit. So I knew that this was 770, the distance between my concourse hub and the concourse. So I was able to get that into place. And then rather than deleting all of this stuff over here, we're going to flip the sides of this and again, try to line it up the exact same way that we did before. We'll have to recreate this on the other side, but that's not a big deal. There we go. So basically I found those guidelines again, and you can see that when you have a system, this is perfectly lined up. That is absolutely spectacular. You can tell that we've got issues with our transit now. We will focus on that, but that's coming at a later point in time. I want to get some of these parked planes in place now though, because otherwise they're kind of just lingering out there. And look at that. It actually won't work. This is a temporary, I'm going to put this temporarily over there. Same thing, we've got these. Now, I remember spending a ton of time resetting these. Now, I was really hoping that the new submeshes would apply to these airliner lounges. They apparently do not, which is really unfortunate because they're kind of a bear to get right. That said, we'll just move these here for now because they do have the right color roofs, and we will come back to that later. Now we're going to add on this other modern concourse hub. Look at that, clips right into place. Looking so good, looking so straight. Now, the one thing that's unfortunate is that I don't believe that these are perfectly aligned with our main terminal. I'm not going to get overly concerned about that, but I do want these two to be very, very, very symmetrical. So we'll get rid of these, and again, we're going to mirror our same setup over here. So that is a large stand on the outside, lining up the side with the side of the building. Then a medium, lining up at the side of the pavement, and then we mirror that over here. Now, for this one, we're not going to have anything on the opposite side. We are going to instead have places to put some of these props. Interestingly, I have these fuel things out here. I think that you can make a pretty compelling case that there should be a road out to here with a fuel station to it. So I think we're going to try to figure something out. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to work that out just yet. But remember, this is a controlled access area, so we could send a road back here with a refueling area, and I think that's probably what we're going to do. So I just want to see the distance here. This is approximately 420, so we'll go 420 out here. And this is interesting. I thought that we had medium and a large aircraft stand. I believe that we did, but the problem is they don't line up well. So I'm going to swap these out just for large so that the two ends of these assets line up perfectly. Otherwise, we end up in a spot where it's just acting up on us. So we'll get rid of these mediums. I want to ensure that the taxiways are perfectly aligned. And we were going to have to do something kind of kind of wonky to make it work. That should do the trick. It is very close here. I am a bit concerned about that, but we'll figure it out down the line. Okay, again, we move some of these parked planes out of the way so that we can mirror everything over here. And we'll go out 420 again. There we go. We'll figure out the rest of this in just a moment. I want to get these fuel stations in a better place. So we're going to eliminate a bit of this. This is now too long, and that's interesting. We've got dead bodies in our parking lot behind our cryopreservatory, which doesn't have enough electricity. Maybe that's why it's all messed up. I don't know. It's kind of funny though. So for this, we're going to pull our medium road right to the edge of this. And interestingly, I added all of these parking lots here. I think that we have to have this extend all the way back for them to be usable. Or I'm not exactly sure why these are here, if I'm being completely honest with you. I guess maybe the thought behind it was staff vehicles or something of that nature. It's one of those things where it's been so long at this point that I don't 100% recall. So we'll extend this out. Now, the nice thing about this road here is it should provide access basically everywhere here. Where this wouldn't be helpful is the rest of the airport, unless we line this up really nicely. And we've got to watch out for our taxiway here as well. So let's draw one of these in place, just so we don't inadvertently overlap. And that's way too close. So that's not going to work for us. We'll need to make a little bit of a modification. The other idea would be to simply remove one of these stands from either side, and that might just be our best bet. So we'll remove that. Yeah, this is how we'll handle it. We'll just add these right here so they're able to fill up, get the fuel in this area, and then they could transport this likely along our track or our taxiway that we're going to have right here. And this is something that we can reproduce on both sides, assuming that this is the same length. So we'll need to play with that a bit. Let's just go ahead, and I'm going to clip onto the center and see how far out this goes. Looks like it's 1680. We'll do the same thing over here. So this is actually not the same length. So it's just slightly off. So I'm going to delete that and that one just so that we could figure out the exact length. And I can see that this is 1200. We'll go 1200 out this way as well. And now if we come down with our normal road, you see that this is, I believe it's 480. Come down here, 480 as well. And we should be able to take our fuel and just easily put that over here. All right, that is what we were looking for. Over here, we've got all of these park planes that we've got to figure out what to do with. So part of what I want to do is see, maybe we need to go a little bit further back with this. And if we go further back, we can have some park planes that they have to go past when they're exiting this area. I'm going to turn off the road guidelines because they're going to keep messing me up. We'll go up 540 instead. And we'll do the exact same thing over here. Now again, I'm not providing any connectivity through here. I'm going to line this up right with the edge here. This is where I wish that we had the ability to plop some sort of concrete, because we're going to get some real awkward corners and there's nothing we can do to fix it. We can just accept it basically. And that's what we're going to do for many of these, is accept it or try to relocate it so that it maybe looks a little bit nicer. Maybe that's the best way of handling it for us. 540 distance between these at least gives us the ability to add one of these completely. We'll have a little bit of grass in between and it's not the end of the world. The other thing that we could do, so if that was 540 and we go up, let's say 600, now we get that nice separation in between. Yeah, I like that. That to me feels good. It still believes that it's on the road, so that works for us. And then we don't need to have all of these park planes that were there before. We can have a little bit less. Oh, that is looking good. And actually, I just deleted that small plane, and I'm going to put it back. I want something in the center here. Yeah, that looks really nice. On this side, we're going to add some hangars because I basically eliminated all of those. And then I want to eliminate these back here. This is not necessary. It's just kind of there. And there's no way to access those, so it's kind of strange that it's there. Back here, we're going to extend this out and have this line up with the back of the hangars as well if we can. And now we need to worry a lot about the runway and the access we have to the runway. I also want to see if our power is jumping now. We should be jumping, and if we're not, we may need to add props or something to get our power to jump. So let's take a look. It's clearly not jumping there. That is a bummer, but everywhere else it is. So if I add something small here, we should get this. And that's strange. I wouldn't have thought that this would be the place that things don't jump. I guess I left a little bit too much space here. Easy solution here. The height of realism, added an earthquake sensor at the airport. Obviously the best place for it. Now everything is connected. We should be good to go. All right. Very, very good. Let's get our runways connected. So I'm going to come out 240. I think that's enough separation. We're going to run that all the way down. And then we'll do the exact same thing over here before we forget our numbers. And I was allowing a lot of circulation last time. Circulation that was unnecessary and maybe not helpful. So rather than allowing all of this circulation, this commingling between our cargo and our passenger service, we're just going to make the connections that are necessary. And it's interesting. I almost feel as though we could go a little bit further back, and I'm questioning whether this is far enough away to not clip wings. So we're going to call a mulligan and give this a shot. Another shot. So I want to go out 300, a full 300, and that is clearly enough space. We're going to have the turnaround first. So you come back through here and then you exit this way. And if you think about it, why would we need another taxiway going the opposite direction? You should never have to turn around and go the opposite way. So all of that was a little nonsensical last time. And then here, same deal. We're going to go a clockwise loop through here so that you don't have excess crossing that's unnecessary. So I think this is the one area where you could maybe make a case for all that crossing because we have our stands here. So I think here we're going to allow a circulation pattern to occur. And this is 100% to make this look like you could actually navigate around here. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to circulate around. You wouldn't be able to send this back. Actually, I don't like it. We are not going to add anything unnecessary through here. We're going to focus entirely on functionality. I'm going to create a new guideline to try to line up with this. So we're going to head up here, say another 300, and then we'll send this over 840 and send that right down. Now I have another guideline that I can line up with, and everything fits really nicely. Now the unfortunate thing is we are going to have this issue here where these small stands don't line up well with our taxiway. And I'm wondering if the way to fix this is to change this to be a larger stand. So we are going to call a mulligan on these and then see if our other stands fit better. Okay, what I mean by this is you can see that this right here is our medium aircraft stand. And it looks almost as though I could just connect this directly up. I can. It's a perfect 90. So that is what I was looking for. So the way that we're going to handle this is I'm going to scoot this over. Then I will connect this up. And then after that, I'm going to focus on getting these to line up perfectly. So we'll go with all mediums right here. And again, I'm just lining the edge up with the edge. Now this should be all 100% symmetrical. And I use the curved road tool to make a nice connection there. That seems a little bit sharp for a plane to make, but what do I know? So we're just going to leave it. And truthfully, I'm not even really digging the way that any of this looks. Part of me wants to change this up pretty significantly. Yeah, I like that a lot more. That's the way that we'll handle this. And through here, I think we're going to move these planes. There we go. That's how we'll handle it. That'll work well. So now it's just mirroring this all on the other side. And you can see that this looks very symmetrical now, very straight. Everything looks really good. But the trick is to make it look good on both sides. So we're going to have to get rid of this and we will give this another shot again. And again, this is all about figuring out those perfect distances. And I believe that this was 300. Yep. So we are going to just pull this over here and do the same thing. I'm going to finish this up and we'll be right back. Okay, now this is going to be the trickiest part because we need to line this up perfectly back here. So what I'm going to do is try my best to grab a guideline over here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that in any compelling way. I think that might be it right there. So now I'll just run this up here and connect in. And the reason I even care about this is I know that the medium aircraft stand fits perfectly right here. Now, if this doesn't work for whatever reason, I will just add the medium aircraft stand myself and we'll just go that route. In fact, that might be the best way to go, is just to add this. And now let's see if this is perfect. 89 degrees is pretty darn good. I think we can hang our hats on that and feel pretty all right. And then we'll curve in. That is pretty symmetrical. Okay, now this is an excellent demonstration of how the airport isn't 100% perfect. And the way that you can tell is that the distance here between this hangar and this hangar in the road is just a little bit different. That's okay. Not everything is going to be perfect, and we're coming a heck of a lot closer to perfect than we were. So I'm going to be satisfied with this, and I would encourage you, if you're doing something similar, don't burn yourself out trying to make everything perfect. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. This is pretty darn good, and we can hang our hat on that. And you can find ways to hide your imperfection. So in this case, if we really wanted this to be 100% perfect looking, I think we would just extend this down a little bit further. I'm going to say we're going to go out 360 instead of 300 here. And then come down and look at how much closer that is. It looks a ton more similar. And then we'll still come up with our, till we reach our road guideline here, 360 instead of 300. And now it looks visually perfect, even though we know it's not. And it's fine. It's quite all right. Now through here on this side, I think we are going to send this one through backwards. The reason for that is I believe it's going to cause less conflicts for us. And then we've got to make sure that this runway is going in the right direction on this side. This one again will go clockwise. Okay, so this side, all of the taxiways are going in the right direction. We should start seeing planes spawning over here. And then on this side, we should take a look as well. Never bad to just have one more visual inspection to make sure that things are looking good. We've got our loops. This side, this lines up perfectly, so we'll keep this one clockwise. It kind of bugs me that this is counterclockwise. Maybe I should just have this lining up perfectly here. I don't know. Why don't you guys let me know in the comments? Should I just straighten this out and get rid of this little looping area and just have some imperfection here and kind of just deal with it? Or should I keep it completely symmetrical? Let me know in the comments. I'm very curious to see what you have to say about that. Now, we've got a couple more modifications that we need to make. We grabbed these airport lounges before and relocated them. I'm going to pull these on the front of these modern concourses. I think they'll look nice there. And this is the kind of place I'd want to hang out at the airport. Get to take a look at some of the parked planes. I think it'd be a pretty cool place to hang out. Through here, we now have this big field, which is interesting. This could be an opportunity for the airport to expand. I also want to extend these out a bit because I did delete them so I could mirror this road. That was not a permanent situation or solution. So let's fix that. There we go. Good enough. We've also got our transit that we need to fix through here. And I'm seeing all of these spawning. It's making me feel really good, but we're not connected with our transit. So this is our subway system. So we need to get that rectified. And ooh, those angles are very messed up now. Now what we've got to do is find some logical way to connect all of these up. Now previously we had a loop through here and these were perfectly straight. Now they're not. So we are going to need to use our freeform track tool, send this down, and then we'll use our curved tool, line this up and make a nice connection. So that's a little wonky. That would be very slow, but reasonably, do you expect it to be fast through the airport? And then we'll have a gentle curve here. Use our curved road tool after the freeform and make our connection. Now, we could loop this. I don't think it's necessary. At this point, we just want to see if we can even link these up. And thankfully, I think we dodged a bullet. This was fairly simple to reconnect. This will absolutely be slow, the metro going through here, but I think it's going to work out okay. I'm sure that some of you are looking at this thinking, you should add a bunch of landscaping. Now, I've been yelled at for this in the past. I went hog wild with landscaping in the middle of my airport and was told that is totally unrealistic. That said, we are going to do a little bit. So I'm going to line some of this through the center here with some palm trees, through here around the concourse. We're going to do the same thing, add some flowers. You can see that they even have some minimal stuff with the asset itself, so why not add a little bit? All those Midwesterners that come to visit Verde Beach, they come because they want palm trees, and if they're stuck taxiing for 3 hours, you better believe that this is what they want to see. So at least they're feeling better about their trip, even if it is a little bit of a struggle, the taxi. This should be resolved now, though, and I'm feeling good about it. I really wish that I had the ability to clean this up. If I could, I would plop some concrete right here, right here, right here, and a couple other locations. We just don't have the ability, and we're not going to stress ourselves out over this. Now, one of the things I do want to check out, though, is our overall beauty for the airport. I don't want to lose this, our attractiveness score, and have it drop. We're doing plenty fine. We are well above the attractiveness score needed to maintain our level 3, so we're good there. Interestingly, we never added the great maintenance policy. It adds a land value bonus to the whole airport, and it's probably, we didn't do this because our airport is huge, but we're making some good money now, so let's do it. And this will make our whole airport more valuable, which will hopefully help over here. It's been a constant struggle to keep the businesses going over here, although it looks like things are okay right now. Continual issues at this particular location. Makes sense. All that we have over here is tourism and leisure, so it's kind of a weird spot for that. We've got the airport hotels. We did look at the airport and noticed we do have a number of passengers coming through right now. I want to make sure that this doesn't get bogged up. So what we're going to do, now that we've redone this, we've severed it completely, I'm going to speed this along and let this run for maybe 10 minutes and just see if the airport breaks down. Because you start to see things like this and you wonder, what is the purpose of this? What is happening? What is creating this? And will it completely break the airport? And we've got two. Some of this is unavoidable. Like it's not me. It's just the mechanic of the game. But this is completely what we want to. Well, that guy doesn't care at all. Doesn't bother him any. All right. Well, that looks like it's functioning a little bit better over there. Let's let this run for 10 minutes and see if things break down. Okay, and I don't have to see anymore. I see that we are having our world famous Verde Beach collision occurring right here nonstop. Now, interestingly, that's not happening over here. And that makes me think that that reversed loop over here is actually benefiting us in ways that I didn't really expect. So I'm going to just try to do that real quick. We're going to go ahead and reverse this. I think the problem is these planes are getting stuck as they're trying to taxi through here. So as a result, what we're seeing is backups onto the runway. So the other thing that we could do, and I'm not going to go there just yet. Right now we've got 4 taxi stands along the back end here. That's not consistent with everything else here. We've got 2 or 3. So I could take this down and have 2 or 3 in the front, but I think I'd like to keep as many as we can. So we're going to go again and see if this resolves all of our issues. I think it's going to. I think I'm feeling good about this. Let's wait another 5 minutes and see what happens. Okay, and now we have some intermittent backing up here, but it's not that bad. This is doable. This is normal airport DLC nonsense. And I can live with that. So I think that we're going to. And generally, I think things look pretty darn good. I am very curious, though. What does our ridership look like now? It's lower. So, that's the normal ebb and flow. Interestingly, our utilization is very low. And I don't really understand why that would be the case. Our attractiveness has not changed. It's just one of those strange things. So maybe it was counting all of the aircraft stands that we had before that we removed, but for whatever reason, the ridership's not quite as high. The other interesting thing that I noticed is for a while there was a lot of traffic back here. So it was as if we've unleashed our freight over here because it was totally screwed up before, and now things are flowing quickly and nicely through here, and it seems like it's made a pretty significantly positive impact on the cargo airport. And you see that there's just a ton of traffic now. In fact, I want to look, and that's significant traffic through here. And in fact, our average traffic is below 80%. 80, there we are. Our magic number. But things are looking pretty good for the most part. I am thinking that this might be a good time to take inventory of what we've done and have a brief airport tour. I always love the look of the airports at night. Just looks splendid. And you can see that things are functioning. Nothing is stopping, things are moving, clipping isn't that bad, and generally that means that we are in a good place. Now, this is hopefully the last time we have to redesign the airport, but if there's anything that you see, if you are a professional that works at an airport or a pilot, if anything looks totally off here, please let me know. I'd love to make some corrections to this if possible. Obviously, this was designed more thinking about the overall functionality of the game, but if there are small things that we can improve to make this feel a little bit more realistic, I am willing to do it, and I want to do it. So please let me know. I think we're going to leave it here. I hope that you've enjoyed this one. I truly have. If you did, please hit the like button. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. And I really cannot wait to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for joining me today. It has been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure all year, and I can't wait to bring more of these to you next year. Take care. Bye-bye.